everyone. This is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen.
When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your A game.
Here we go again.
Hey, how my Crimsonites doing today? I'm actually feeling the drudgery of a Monday. But how's everybody else doing? Thank you, Ruminant, for setting it off. Tomorrow for War. Hey, Shot. Hey, Father's Time. Dr. Michelle, Malika. Quentin, Alien versus Predator, which is like one of my favorite sci-fi movies ever. Like, I totally wrote a fan fiction on that, but we're not gonna talk about that. Hey Barry, hey Ian, hey Brilliance. You sore from working out? I need to get sore from working out. I've been so lazy with them workouts. Ooh, I've been lazy with them workouts. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been losing the weight, but I've been lazy on the workouts. It's been like probably a good 2 weeks now. Yeah, that's no bueno. Hey Sandra, how you doing, sweetie? All right, I got 32 people watching. I got 12 likes. Y'all should be able to see the likes now. They used to have it where I could just universally do it, and now they got it where you have to individually, for each video or live stream, choose whether or not you want your likes to be seen. It used to be a default, and then I turned it off a long time ago. Now that button's gone. Now you got to go in there and do it yourself. It's YouTube messing up. Hey, Leotis. So I know y'all looking at my hijab like, why her hair so tall? It looked funny under the hijab, but the hairstyle is cute. I got a braided faux hawk. And it looked cute under it looked cute without the hijab. It looked funny with the hijab. I'm tall-headed with the hijab. I was like, forget it. I don't care if I'm going to be tall-headed. I look cute with my hairstyle. I'm going outside with my hairstyle today. Just trying to give people a minute to really get in here. Actually, yeah, about 2 to 3 times a week actually will do it for me. Surprisingly. Hits. Has to be hits. It has to be high intensity. It must be. Like, I can't do the lazy girl workout. It has to be an intense workout, and I have to do weights. So I really have to do my kettlebell. I got a couple of kettlebells. I like kettlebells more than I like regular dumbbells. I don't like regular dumbbells. Yeah, I'm calm-headed. It look funny, but no funnier than I've been looking the last couple of weeks with all my big twists and being bundled up in the top. I said I might as well keep the trend going. Okay, so what do I have for you today? Everybody do the Birdman hand rub. I want everybody to do the Birdman hand rub. Thank you, Skinner. I love your content. Thank you so much. Kettlebells do give a more dynamic workout. You could do more with the kettlebell, but I only got 2. I need a set of kettlebells because I have the very first one I bought was only like 10 pounds, 7 pounds, and then somebody else bought me another one for a gift, and that's a 15-pound kettlebell. So the 15-pound one actually gives me a little bit of workout. The 7-pound one doesn't do anything anymore. So I need like the 15-pound one. I probably need like a 20, 25-pound kettlebell. Maybe even a 30, and then I'll be good. And I need some more resistance bands, but we're not going to get into that. Okay, so if you did your Birdman hand rub, we can actually get into it. Hey, C. All right. I can't pronounce any of those characters, but thank you. So you can see the title, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding Feminist Programming in Black Women. Shout out to Auntie Shahrazad Ali. Because we're really going to get into it about how feminism has shaped the Black woman's mind and now guiding her on how to think of men and how to think of relationships. So y'all know I got a chart, don't y'all? Y'all know I got a chart, right? Y'all be liking my charts. I know y'all like my charts. Don't even try to front like y'all like my charts. Got your popcorn. You got your hand rub. All right, all right. It said chart. Okay, we're going to get to the chart. Thank you, Me Masters, for the cash app. See, I knew it was you this time. Thank you, Barry. I was like, we killing it with the charts. We is killing it with the charts, though. Okay, so let me go ahead and get into it because I'm a little giddy right now. I'm a tad bit giddy. Ramadan thing setting in, not eating, giddy. Okay. All right, so the first thing that pops up is category number 1. How Black women see Black men in relationships. Category 1 is leadership. She sees her husband as her leader. All right. She sees him as her leader. She respects his vision. She is a good follower of his mission. Sees herself as a helpmeet to him. Let's keep going. This relationship type is patriarchal in nature. So it puts the man in the leadership position and it puts the woman in the followership position. This is the traditional relationship. Okay? We're going to get further into defining it, but I just want you to see the setup for right now. Now, here we have 5 things that truly define this kind of relationship. So we already established that in the leadership relationship, the man is seen as the leader by the woman. It's a patriarchal type of relationship that puts the man in leadership position and puts the woman in followership position. So now let's clearly define the leadership. What are we talking about? Leadership. What is this leadership? What kind of leadership is this? This is a foundational kind of relationship where the woman sees the man as the leader. It follows the natural setup between a husband and a wife and is the only correct way, both according to biology and the Most High's law. So even if we take it away from a more religious or more spiritual aspect, this follows biology. Because I've discussed many times the biological makeup and the psychological makeup of men and women and why men are the leaders. His masculinity has inherently authority within it, his ability to have foresight, his ability to perform in a way that women cannot, to think in a way that women cannot. Which is why he's in the leadership position. Because he must be in the leadership position. Even if we are not coming from, like I said, a spiritual base, which I don't know why anybody would not come from at least a spiritual base, even if you're not coming from a religious base. Especially considering we talk about the 10 life values over here, which the number 1 is spiritual. So that's the basic definition of the leadership. This woman has been trained to see her relationship under the correct order. First, the Most High, then her husband, then herself, then her children. Okay? Now, the second thing that you see here is interdependent. This kind of relationship is interdependent, not codependent. Codependency is a dysfunction. Interdependency is not. Interdependency is what you're looking for in a healthy, functional relationship. When you are in a traditional relationship where the man is in the leadership position, you are looking at a relationship that is interdependent. What does that mean? That means that both parties are actually relying upon one another to meet their mutual needs and provide a support system for each other. So the support system is feminine and masculine respectively. Okay? The support system is feminine and masculine respectively. So there's two different kinds of support that are actually going to be given. One from the masculine perspective and one from the feminine perspective. So a man's support system that he gives to his wife is more or less concrete, tangible support. He's supporting her financially, he's supporting her physically, okay? He is supplying what is called the 4 P's. What are the 4 P's? You know I got notes, don't you? You know. What is being supplied by the man are 4 P's: protection, provision, procreation, and problem solving. Okay? Those are the main 4 things that the man is providing as a support system for his wife and his family. And I'll repeat it. It's protection, provision, procreation, and problem solving. See, he's qualified for leadership mainly because this is a man that has those 10 life values in order. Okay? And when he has those 10 life values in order, it becomes easy for him to supply the 4 P's that I just named: the protection, the provision, the procreation, and the problem solving. Because his wife looks to him for protection of her. She looks to him to protect her honor. She looks to him to protect her physically. Okay? She looks to him for provisions. She looks to him for procreation. Okay? She wants him to make her a mother if they want children. And she looks to him to problem solve. If there is a situation that comes up in their relationship, in their household, she's looking to him to resolve the issue. She may or may not have input on that resolution, but she's definitely looking to him for the final word. Okay? So there is an interdependency here, because what we understand is that feminism has told women that they need to be independent. But in a healthy relationship, you don't have independence. You have interdependency. They are dependent upon one another. Because when you're independent, that means you're by yourself. We're going to break that down more later on. But when you're independent, you're by yourself. You're doing stuff alone. You're doing stuff all by your lonesome. You're not dependent on anybody else, and you are not looking for anyone else to provide for you any sort of support systems. None whatsoever. You your own support system, let you tell it. But when you're in a healthy relationship, there's no such thing as I'm independent, I'm doing stuff on my own. Because what you get married for, if you was just trying to live single and you was just trying to be by yourself, what did you go and get a partner for? What did you go and get a wife or a husband for? If you were cool just being independent. So when we're talking about relationships from a righteous standpoint, there's no such thing as I'm doing my thing, you doing your thing, but we together. No. We are actually sharing our lives with each other. Because if you think about it, for all of these women that's talking about they independent, what do you want him to bring to a table? It shouldn't matter what he bring to a table as long as you bringing what you want to a table. Because you independent, right? Even in a relationship, you independent, right? You doing you able to do you at any given moment of time, and you're not really concerned about a support system or sharing anything or getting something mutual, getting your needs mutually met in this relationship. That's what the interdependency really is. Getting the mutual needs met. Like I talked about this at one point before. When I was talking about the marriage series a long time ago, I was actually thinking about reposting those out of the archives or redoing them at least. I'm not sure. But I think it's time to kind of go back over that, because that was actually one thing that I was saying in that series. When you are married, you are not supposed to be looking to fulfill your own rights. Let me repeat that. When you are married, you are not supposed to be looking to fulfill your own rights. You should be looking to fulfill the rights and the needs of your husband or wife. That's what you should be doing. And they in turn need to be looking to fulfill your rights. Because when you look to fulfill your own rights, when you are only concerned about whether or not your needs and rights are being met in this relationship, then what you're really doing is you're approaching the relationship from a selfish standpoint. I'm only looking out for me, my interests. I got to make sure that all of my stuff that I want, I get it out of this relationship. And if you're focused on you, who's focused on your husband? If you focused on everything that you can get out of relationship, who's focused on what he gets out of relationship? But when you come together and you focus on each other, this is what you have to do. This is actually what helps to create a successful relationship, a successful marriage. Listen, inshallah, the day I get married again, I am not going to be trying to figure out which one of my rights is getting met. Now, that doesn't mean I don't care if they get met. It's just that I'm not the one that's going to be busy trying to make sure they get met. Because that'll be my husband's job to make sure he fulfills my rights. That's his job. That's not even my job. My job is to make sure his rights get fulfilled. Because that's how it's supposed to work. That's the interdependency. I'm depending on him to fulfill my rights, and he's dependent on me to fulfill his. As long as that's actually what you're doing, there's no reason why anybody's rights should go lacking. There is no reason why anyone's needs should not be getting met in the relationship. Because I'm not even concentrated on me. I'm concentrated on him. If by chance some of my needs aren't getting met or something like that, that's a conversation. That's a conversation that gets had about why. And what can we do? What can we do? Not what can he do, but what can we do to correct that situation so that we can reach a point of harmony and peace in this relationship again? Because we human beings, there are lapses sometimes. There are lapses. He may forget. I may forget. Or we get comfortable in our relationship, and some of the things that we was making sure that we was doing, that we was tight on doing, you get a little lackadaisical about it. But that, over time helps to degrade the quality of the relationship at some point. And then that's when the conversations have to be had and say, baby, we used to do this, we used to do that. What happened? What happened to us? We need to get back to that. We need to make sure that we're not getting so comfortable with each other that we're not looking after one another and just taking for granted that the other one is okay. When you in these relationships, in order to keep it going and keep it healthy, these are conversations that you have to have periodically with your husband. Just like almost like a State of the Union address, a state of the marriage conversation. And it don't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be full of strife and, and discontent. It can be just a simple, we checking the temperature on it. Are you all right? Anything that you need me to do more of, less of? Do you need me to do something that I'm not doing? Do you need me to stop doing something that I am doing? Are you all right? Are you okay with what's going on, how this relationship is going on? Or are there things that we need to address that maybe you haven't found the right time, or you don't think, maybe you haven't found the right words for that, or what have you, right? So we're going to move on to the third thing. This type of relationship is foundational. What is the foundation of this relationship? Remember, I talked about what qualifies him to be the leader. He has the 10 life values, those things in his life in order, from spiritual to wealth. These things are in order. He's not severely lacking in any one of these areas. Now, everything's not going to be at the same level all the time because it's called life, and everything can't be at the same level all the time. But it's not so deplorable that there's a complete breakdown because one or more of those categories of the 10 life values are not being taken care of properly. And then I also discussed the 4 P's, but then there's also the SOS, the system, the order, the structure. He's providing the system, the order, and the structure of the relationship. Remember that I've been saying that that's what relationships, healthy relationships, are based on. The man's ability to provide an effective SOS. This comprises his leadership, the 10 life values being in order, the 4 P's being provided, and the SOS being set. This solidifies and actually, this is comprising of his leadership. This is actually what separates good leaders from bad leaders. When they don't have these things, or when too many of the components of them are failing. So you'll get a man that's able to provide and protect, but he doesn't have a proper SOS. He can't really set the relationship foundation. All right, because he doesn't have himself clear. And if he's not clear on his mission, he's not clear on his purpose and how to achieve, then he can't be clear on what you're supposed to be doing to help him reach those goals, because he's not clear on them himself. Okay, this is why sometimes relationships have these severe breakdowns, because the foundation was not set properly. He might be a good guy, but he doesn't have a proper SOS. Maybe he didn't learn it. Maybe he doesn't know how to set it. He needs to get up under a man that has it so that he can learn how to do it and how to implement that in his own life. This is where the 10 life values comes in at, as a helpful tool for self-management. Because if he can get those categories together, his purpose will become clear to him. His gifts will become clear to him. How to get there becomes clear to him. Okay? So if he's clear, he can make her clear. If he has a clear and set and effective SOS, this leads us to number 4, which is submission, because that's actually what she's submitting to. And I've said that before, but this bears repeating right now. Ladies, I want everyone to hear me. Matter of fact, I want you to see me. We can get back to this. I want you to see me for this one. Women submit to systems, orders, and structures, not the person. The person is a bonus. When women submit, we are submitting to a system, order, and structure that we are able to fit into and perform in. Not the person. So, for all of the guys listening, trying to figure out if your money make her submit, no. Trying to figure out if you whip her with the D, do that make her submit? Only in bed. The overall answer is no. Trying to figure out if you mean enough to her, does that make her submit? No. Trying to figure out if you give everything she wants, does that make her submit? No. No. She submits to a system, order, and a structure. That's what she submits to. The man behind the SOS is a bonus. Let me prove it to you. Because oftentimes, some of the men in this space will complain, well, she go to work and do what the boss say without question. Then she come home and she give me all kind of flack. Why is that? I'm supposed to be her man. Why? Because the job, the career, the workplace, that place has an established system, order, and a structure. And she has a specific role within it that she is held accountable to do. And if she don't do it right, she's liable to get fired or go under any sort of penalty that they have there, up to and including termination off of that job. And she's being held accountable by higher ups, people who are looking at her performance to see if it is up to snuff. That's why She goes to work and does her job because she has submitted to that place's system, the order there, and the structure there. She submitted to that she submitted to it by applying for the job and accepting the job. They've got an SOS. And for 8 hours, 10 hours, 4 hours, however many hours, she's abiding by the rules set in that SOS. When she come home to you, if you don't have one of those, or if it is ineffective, she not gonna submit to it. You're gonna get all kind of pushback. And this is not even just from a gynocrat. You're gonna get that pushback from a good woman. Let me repeat that. You're gonna get that pushback from a lioness. Because I don't know if you know, but lionesses have been known to off the alpha male that didn't have an SOS for them. If he didn't patrol like he was supposed to, which is the protection, if he didn't procreate like he was supposed to, if he did not provide like he was supposed to and all of that kind of stuff, and resolve their problems, they might have had a hyena problem, might have had another pride encroaching on their hunting ground problem. If he didn't solve that problem, the lionesses will jump him and kill him. They'll do it. I watch plenty of documentaries. I love animal documentaries. I've seen it happen. He has to do what he needs to do as the alpha male lion. If he can't perform that job for any reason and another alpha male didn't kill him, they'll do it. And they will exist as a sisterhood of lionesses, and they'll actually go find alpha males. They'll find them. If a coalition of alpha males don't run up on them and realize there's no male, and then he just takes them. So we have to understand that even a lioness prefers SOS, and if there is none, you're going to start getting pushback from her. You're going to start getting, hey, she may not do it real crazy. She might not do it super crazy to you, but you're going to start getting the pushback though. You're not going to like it. Because every time you say something, if it don't make no sense, she going to be like, I don't know. She going to start going somewhere else, to her daddy, to her brothers, she going to try to find it. She gonna try to find it. So I need that to be understood. Just because a man has a gainful employment doesn't mean he has SOS and them 10 life values together. He got to get that together. Not for her per se, but for himself. And then when he looks to get a wife, he's already prepared with that. Because he's on his purpose. See, our purpose as women is him, not the world. He do the world, we serve with him. He's our purpose. This is why this type of relationship, the leadership relationship, is diminishing and declining in popularity, because the type of society that we live in right now doesn't support that. It doesn't support the biology, the thinking that actually goes into that. Because any feminist within the sound of my voice will cringe by hearing me say that a woman's purpose is her man. But in order for her to truly step into that feminine role with him, he has to be on his purpose. If he's not there yet, she can't really be what she's supposed to be for him. Because if he's not on his purpose, she's a helpmeet, but what's she helping him with? I'm helping you, but what you doing? Helping you stand around and scratch and pat and turn? I can't help you with that. You got to be on your way somewhere. That's why women follow up behind men that look like they doing something. Oh, that's why she follow up behind you if you're busy and stuff, because you doing something. You doing something. You ain't up behind me, up under me. So you doing something, so I want to know what you doing. And is this something I can help you with? I would like to do that. I would like to help you with. What are you doing exactly? This is interesting. What is that? Oh, that's it. Oh, I like that. Oh, okay. You want some help with that? Because I know a little something about that. I like that. That's why we don't like men that sniff up under us all day. We don't like that. Because you ain't doing nothing. Where your business? I can't be your business. We go back. I'm going to say one more thing before I get to the fifth point. Lionesses, and these are the women in this category with leadership. Lionesses do not like men that make them their goal and number one priority. Lionesses do not like men that make them their number one priority and their goal. I do not want to be my husband's number one priority. I bet not be his number one priority. I want to fall in the list of his higher priorities, but I don't want to be number one. I need not be number one. His number one priority needs to be the Most High. And then his purpose. I can be in the top 5. You can put me somewhere around the top 5, 6 or so. So I'm good. Because that don't mean, just because I'm not his number one priority doesn't mean I'm not a priority in his life. But I don't need to be number one priority, because if I'm number one priority, what he doing? Because I'm sitting at the house chilling looking at him. And I don't need him chilling looking at me. And we just looking at each other goofy. We don't need that. I'm sitting around, I done made a little soap that day. I done cooked. I done mopped. I done kind of listened to a little music, and he's right there every day. Baby, you ain't got nowhere to go. Well, see, I don't need that. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. I need him to do something so I can help him with it. We get irritated with that. Anyway, it does not conform to a gynocratic society, okay? This type of relationship is the antithesis of the type of relationship that feminism and this current climate that we live in actually supports, okay? Because of the way in which the women have to actually think. Because it is patriarchal in nature, as we can see, this goes against it because feminism is supposedly against the patriarchy. Thank you for all the cash apps. Shango, Miss Sherry, Mogul, C-Truth. Okay? It's patriarchal in nature, which is why it is the antithesis of anything that feminism says we're supposed to do as women and what we're supposed to want as women. See, feminism, that programming tell us we're not supposed to want this. The programming tells us that this is an oppressive, toxic kind of relationship to be. Now, I want you to get that. I want you to get this, that the programming is so deep that feminism says that for a woman being in a relationship where a man is taking care of her needs and she's taking care of his needs. See, that's the problem feminism have with it. It don't got no problem with him taking care of her. It's got a problem with her taking care of him on any kind of level. It has a problem with a man being in a leadership position. It's got a problem with interdependency within the relationship. It's got a problem with a man setting the SOS and the foundation for the relationship. It's got a problem with a woman submitting underneath the system, order, and structure of the man that she has accepted as her husband. It's got a problem with that. They have said that this relationship for us ladies is a bad thing. It's toxic. It's oppressive. It's not allowing us to be free. But free to do what? Free to do what? Because my argument would be that this is the only relationship type that allows women to have the freedom to be women. There we go. This is the only relationship type that allows women to have the freedom to be a woman without being blamed and without being castigated for her femininity. In this relationship, your husband accepts your femininity. He even is accepting the chaos of it because he has a system, order, and structure that can contain it. This is the only relationship type for any man that truly call himself red pill. And remember, we said that red pill was awareness. It's awareness. Junizon said that sounds like free without accountability. Where does accountability for her come from? I'm asking. Because I don't see how we got no accountability out of that. And this isn't an argument, but I want to point this out because I need people to truly understand this. I'm going to tell you where her accountability come from. Her accountability is coming from her leader. he holds her accountable. There's no such thing in this relationship type as a woman not having accountability, because she is underneath strong leadership. He makes her accountable for her actions, for her decisions, for her behavior in this relationship. That is where her accountability comes from. It comes from him. This is how you tell good leadership from poor leadership. Because a man that cannot or will not hold his wife accountable is not providing good leadership. Because I bet you dollars to donuts, if he was, he could hold her accountable, because she would have to respect it. Or else. And there is an or else. Can't have a reward system without a punishment system. And human beings work off punishments and rewards. Thank you, Jeremy Sears, so much. And also thank you, The Logician. Said, as a psychology fanatic, your work should be research papers. I appreciate that. Thank you again, Shango. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Now, as we can see, this relationship type of how black women actually see black men in relationships underneath probably about 5 or 6 generations of feminism is a whole 5%. It's a whopping, can't you believe it? Don't you believe it? Jaw-dropping 5%. Small. And we expected it to be this way. After the devastation of second wave feminism and this level of programming, from the biology to the culture to the environment, this is what we end up with. My goal on this channel is to have this percentage number increased at least to 10, 15, or 20%. Might be lofty, but we shooting for it. Either go big or go home. Ain't no use in shooting for small peas. It ain't no use in, well, if we can inch it up to 6%. No. We're going to have to make a dent. All right. So what's next on the list? The partnership. Dun, dun, dun. The dreaded partnership. And I've talked about this several times. The partnership or the marriage. That is different. It's different. It's not the same. This man is my partner. We are equals in this relationship. It is a conditional relationship where both parties are looking out only for their individual needs. Remember, I was just talking about who's supposed to be looking out for needs. In a marriage, you look out for your partner's needs. In a partnership, you look out for your needs. They view each other as equals with no clearly defined roles for either. Okay? This is the partnership. I'm with you, but I'm still doing me. And I'm going to go back one moment because see, there's a lot here. And I'm going to point out a difference that I want everyone to see as we move forward. And I'm going to go back real quick to this leadership relationship type. This is actually the only one on the chart where mutual love, respect, honor, care is had between the two and is cultivated between the two people mutually. It's the only one. When we are in these relationships, ladies, where the man is the leader and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, love is cultivated within these relationships. I bear witness, you do come to love that man. And he comes to love you. And that love is not the fleeting kind of, oh, I like you right now kind of love. It's that deep, unshakable, can't nobody come tell me nothing. That love, that I do somebody. Y'all, you can't say nothing about that man. Do you understand me? Okay? Bet not nobody mess with him. Bet not nobody talk bad, but watch your mouth when you're talking about him. I'm going to need you to watch your mouth. That go for your mama. It go for your daddy. It go for your brothers, your sisters, your friends, and everybody else that think they going to say something to you about him. And it ain't roses. You better ask somebody. You're not going to be able to get away with it. Play with your mammy. Don't play with me. That love. That kind. The kind of love that make you gaze in his eyes and when you've been together for 15 years already. And you still look at him like, ooh, look at him. Look at that. Look at God. The kind of love to make you, tear somebody's head off about him. The kind of love make you go to the end of the earth for him. Sleep in a hollow log and drink muddy water for him. That love. That's cultivated in the leadership. It's the only one that'll do it. Because I guarantee you, if you both doing what you're supposed to do, the both of you will feel that strongly about each other. It is not one-sided. But we're going to move on to the partnership. And I say that because the partnership, we're going to get into it. Look at that. Business, mutually beneficial in nature. They both lead, they both follow, which is really an impossibility and is nothing but chaos. I've talked about partnerships being business. This is what you do when you enter into business with folks. You enter into partnerships with them. I'm bringing the same thing you bring into it. And you know, we both getting out of it what we want, you know. And in this one, because I was talking about love and care, in this one, all of that is extra conditional. I may or may not like you. I may or may not love you. You know, I might care for you. You know, I got love for you, my G. You know, that type of stuff. You know, I got, you know, clap him up, you know, give him a pound, you know, that foolishness. You know, I like you today, but if you mess up, I ain't gonna like you tomorrow. I love you long as you doing what I want you to do. The moment you stop, I'm gone. See, it's these partnerships that don't got no longevity because no one wants to work for this. And this is one of the most popular ones that feminism tell black women they need to go for. See, it's the partnership, and we're going to get into it more, but I'm going to say this right now. It's the partnership that's the lowest level that the gynocracy will accept of a relationship from a black. Listen, the gynocracy tell you that the best a black man can do in a relationship with you is be your partner. That all that submission stuff, that's a no-go. We ain't doing that. But let's move on. Because there ain't no way in the world that you both leading and both following. And I done heard these chicks get on these panels and say that goofy stuff. That's the goofiest stuff that I have ever seen in my life. Well, sometimes I lead. Girl, if you don't knock it off, you ain't leading nobody because you don't know nothing. But sometimes he lead and sometimes I lead. Girl, that ain't nothing but some confusion. Don't no successful company work like that. I don't know a single successful organization, business, or company that be like the employees lead sometime and then the CEO be leading sometime. I just ain't never heard of that. Did y'all ever heard of that? I ain't never heard of that. I have never seen, not a successful one, organization of any type, whether it was for profit, whether it was spiritual, it ain't never worked in church, it don't work in the masjid, it don't work. I ain't never seen it work. I have never seen that work nowhere. I have worked for people. I used to do at-home customer service, all kind of companies. I used to work for Apple. I ain't never got no phone call from the CEO of Apple that said, well, Crimson Cure, we want you to lead the company today. Excuse me? Yeah. We want you to lead the company for, about a couple of days. We see how you do. And then, because I'm tired. So what we'll do is we'll let you and, a few employees of our choice go ahead and run the company. You run the whole thing. You set the prices, you set the release dates, and all that kind of stuff. Make all the decisions. And then, after a couple of days, I done kick my feet up. I'll come back and lead it. That's stupid. That's stupid. Okay? I want the ladies to understand how stupid this is. running around here talking about you partnerships and both of y'all is equal and both of y'all lead and both of y'all fall. That is stupid. You cannot tell me any organization, company, government, social construct. You can't tell me anything that actually works like that. And for you to come through here in this day and age talking about this is what you want and it's gonna work. This is the most foolish, not ignorant, but ignorant stuff that I have ever heard in my entire life. This is why you don't got nobody. But we gonna go ahead into it. So we define the partnership as a conditional relationship where both parties are looking out only for their individual needs and they view each other as equals with no clearly defined role for either. This is an independent relationship. This is a relationship where the women still feel like they are independent. Y'all have heard, put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of this new thing that women are trying to do with living separate while they married. She still want her own space and, a separate apartment and he lives somewhere else and they just kind of kick it. But they married now. And they just kind of kick it like, we still single. Y'all heard that? This is that stupidness. This is that stupidity right there. How you gonna be married to your husband? And now this ain't no type of polygynous type of situation, because if it was polygyny, I do want my own space. But that's different. We talking about in America, everybody wants monogamy. All right, fine. So how you in a whole monogamous marriage, but you live on one side of town and he live on the other side of town? Girl, if you don't knock it off, that's that independent stuff. I'm still doing me in a whole marriage. How you still doing you in a marriage? How? This is why partnerships are not marriages. This is why. Because the woman is too independent. What is independence? Independence is when you're by yourself. You're doing things on your own. I'm independent. I am an unmarried woman. I ain't got no husband. Stuff come up, I got to do it. Bills come up, I got to pay them. Even something so petty as the garbage need emptying, I got to do it. Okay? I do not like that. And the reason that I don't like that is because I do not have the support system that a man actually provides. So I don't get protection. I don't get provision. I don't get procreation. And I don't get problem solving. I don't get that. A problem come up, I got to figure it out the best way I can. When them problems and stuff was going on with my car, who jumped in to do that? It wasn't no husband around said, baby, don't worry about it, I got it. had to go back and forth to that car X like I felt like doing that. Now the situation got resolved, but that ain't the point. The point is, I'm independent as of now. So I don't get that support system that your husband give to you. I don't get that. And I'm not saying this to like pole mouth. I'm pointing out to the ladies that when you are independent, that means you are alone. You are doing things on your own. It sound good till you get about 36. It sound good till you hit around the mid-30s or so and you look and it don't look like nobody coming. Hmm? 37, 38. I'm squinting. Do I see? Oh, no. That's somebody else. That's something else. Wait, is that a man? That a man? Oh, that ain't a man. That ain't a man. Forget it. Forget it on. That ain't a man. That's what you start doing. That independent is good when you're in your 20s, baby. You know, you don't need no man holding you back. Honey, you ain't gotta, he better ask somebody about what's going on with you, honey. I'm too hot to trot. You can't. Yeah, hit round about 37, see if you're hot. Every month, the landlord won't rent, don't he? That rent roll around every month, don't he? Every month, them same bills come through. This time, the light bill was higher. This time, something happened in your apartment or your house that needed fixing, and you couldn't do it. This time, something happened, and you needed emergency money, and you didn't have it. There was some kind of poll or something like that said that the average American, if they had an emergency worth $400, they would be, you know, SOL, because they ain't got an extra $400 on them. It's a lot of single women in America that's comprising families. Where you think they get that? Where you think they get that number from? Where you think they get you ain't got no money from? Because y'all ain't got no money? Because we ain't got no money. It's only a few women that's got some money. And I'm talking about real money. I ain't talking about, you know what I'm saying? You could go to the bank and think you doing something because you can pull out $150. That ain't no money. That ain't no money. Your bundles cost more than that and you beg somebody to pay them. So I don't hear that. I can spend $150 roaming around Target. Excuse me, not Target. Target. It's not Target. I don't know what Target is, but I do know what Target is. You got to say that with your pinky out. I go to Target. Okay. I can spend $150 quick. All I gotta do is buy me a couple of candles, because I'm addicted to candles. We're not gonna talk about that. And, you know, a few household goods, and you mess around and you need something for keto. Them keto drinks about $45. Get the protein drink thing about $45, boy. If Target don't knock it off, with the process. But anyway, that ain't no money. We ain't got no money. That's where they get that number from. The average American ain't got $400 because a lot of you chicks ain't got $400. You got to be on your knees a grand total of 8 hours every day just to beg up on them little raggedy nails you be getting done in that beauty supply store bundles you be buying. Girl, if you don't knock it off, ain't nobody, you ain't fooling nobody. With all that independent talk, you is by yourself, struggling. Not struggling, struggling. Okay, you struggling. It sure is fall time. I be looking at that little keto stuff like, how bad is it? You know, if I just don't do it this time. You know, is it really gonna be bad or not? Okay, so you're independent in a partnership marriage, which is ridiculous. This is a conditional relationship. This is a relationship based on conditions. If you doing what I want you to do, how I want you to do it, when I want you to do it, how much I want you to do it, we'll be okay. But the moment that any of that go by the wayside, I'm gone. I am fair weather. I am not here for the long haul. I am not trying to stick by you through thick and thin and ups and downs and going. I am not sticking by you, man. If you are not doing what I need you to do and all of this kind of stuff to the letter, to the T, we are not cool. I am not hanging around with you. I am not your follower. I'm not your woman, really. You know, I will take my little stuff I done brought to the table and I'll go ahead on because, you know, I'm not really down with what you talking about. That's this conditional stuff. This is why the relationship don't last none. Thank you, Suave. This is why the relationship don't last but 10 minutes. Because 10 minutes about long it take for something to happen that, you know, don't seem too hot. And then there you go. Girl, he tripping. He think I'm stupid. Girl, he got me messed up. I ain't doing that with him. Come in talking about he lost his job. You got me twisted. You better find something because I ain't doing this with you. You broke? Is you broke? Man said, man, I just got laid off this morning. I'm gonna find something. Well, you need to find something because it's bills to pay up in here. And there's stuff to do up in here. And I need stuff. And we just can't be doing all this struggling. I ain't get with you to struggle. I can do bad by myself. Girl, if you don't quit running your mouth. So this is a conditional, fair weather relationship. It is not based on any kind of real love or care or concern for the other person. You are only concerned about you. You're not really concerned about this man. You don't like this man. You don't really love this man. I mean, you might not necessarily want to see him, a bus run over him unless you driving it. But I mean, you ain't really tripping either. You know, you can take it or leave it, you know. Fake freedom is number 4. Remember that I said submission underneath a gynocracy, the leadership relationship is oppressive, supposedly. It is constraining, supposedly. But in a partnership, you have a level of fake freedom, ladies. You get to still be acting like you a single woman whenever it is convenient for you. This is when you step out on your relationship. He made you mad, so now that's your excuse to go to the club and be a whole thought monkey. He made you mad in an argument because partnerships is petty. Let me just put that out here. These relationships is petty. These are the pettiest relationships known to man. Pettiest relationship blonde. He made me mad. What'd he do, girl? Girl, he drove my car. He even put no gas in. I told him 2-3 times to put some gas in. Girl, come on, let's go out. Well, all right. I'm about to call J-Man. J-Man, girl, you still got his number? Yes. You think I don't? When this ninja make me mad, guess what? Right, Dr. Michelle, like you don't belong to nobody. You're just a stray. You're just a stray animal. You're just lost and turned out. They just done got you out of the anti-cruelty society and just set you on the street. You got the freedom to go around and act like you're not in a relationship. And since there's no defined leader or follower, he can't check you. Where do you think it comes from? Who gonna check me, boo? He don't have the ability to check. Because the relationship has been set up in such a way where he don't have no authority. Let's keep going. This comes in at 40%. 40% of black women see black men as the partner in the relationship. Nobody leads, nobody follows. We just go along in this chaotic situation that doesn't have any defining role. There is no purpose. There's no purpose, virtue, or method to obtain. There is no purpose, no virtue, and no method to obtain in these partnerships. These relationships are aimless, which is why they end the way that they do and at the rate that they do. This is why it's these types of relationships, the partnerships and the other two that I'm going to get to, which is why the divorce rate is so high and is initiated by women, because they are aimless. The relationships, by and large, are not leadership relationships where the men have a definitive authoritative role within it. It has a purpose, a virtue, and a method to obtain. The other three, as you will come to understand, do not. Okay. All right. Followership. This is another popular one. In a followership, the man is the follower. The man is the follower. It is the exact inverse of the leadership relationship type. The followership is the inverse of the leadership, where the man is the leader. In followership, the woman is the leader. Okay? In a followership, this is a reverential type of relationship where the female is the leader. The role of the male is reduced to a utility there only to serve her needs, regardless if his needs are also met. Okay? So this is a relationship where she's on a pedestal. She's being revered. She's being worshipped. She's being, just put up on this high horse. This is the relationship where she the queen. Okay? This is the relationship where she's the queen. And he's the pauper that's begging up behind her. This is the relationship where he gotta come in and just unvelcro his testicles just because they on there with Velcro. And just, he know the drill. She ain't even gotta be standing there waiting on him. He know the drill. He drop them in the bucket like you hang your keys up. He come in, hang his keys up, and then Velcro them off and drop them in the ball bucket. She got a bucket sitting right by the door and the label on it say ball bucket. Hey, Chemical, it's been a long time since I seen you. How you doing, brother? She got the ball bucket and he know what to do. And if he don't do it, she knows. She got a little radar on it. She got a little radar on it. It's like a shock collar. If he call himself walking through that house and he ain't unvelcroed the beans from the Frank, she gonna zap it. This is this relationship. This is ridiculous. We're gonna get more into how ridiculous this is. Let's go. This one is matriarchal in nature. Remember, this one is the inverse of the leadership one. So if we look down at the leadership one, it says it's patriarchal in nature. The followership one is when a queen hyena is in the relationship. See, in the partnership, she a hyena, but she a little hyena. She a hyena-ette. Okay? The partnership, the leadership got a lioness in it. The partnership has a hyena-ette in it. And a followership has a hyena matriarch in it. It is matriarchal in nature. He is in the followership position and she is in the leadership position. Right, chickadee? This one is the happy wife, happy life BS. Let's keep going. All right. So this one is with the high matriarch hyena. Also an independent relationship where the love and the care and the concern flows one way. Okay? She's independent. He definitely don't got no authority to check her on nothing. Okay? Nothing. He can't check her no way, no how. She checked him. Listen. The followership, she got her fingers on his temple like this all day. This is a constant positioning of her hand on that man's forehead. Just all day from both angles. Okay, she pops him. And she do him like that. This followership. Where he do what she say. Now mind you, she don't got no SOS. She don't, her 10 life values is in the crapper. She ain't doing no providing and protecting and problems. She not doing that. This is the relationship where he is broken down into a utility for her. He is a dildo that just so happened to breathe. He's possibly an ATM. Because in this relationship, she might be making more money than him. So that's where she really getting that high horse authority from. Because Zaddy done gave her a couple more dollars. All right. She ain't doing none of this stuff that's supposed to be happening in a relationship. She don't have no leadership, yet she's in the masculine position. But she's still female. She know a little bit about a little bit. She got a battery in his back and they still ain't going nowhere. But to hell in a handbasket. But okay. Exactly, Father Time. And I actually did a video about that. This is the relationship where you are a pet or a child. See, I told everybody that this is what these hyenas think. That men are pets and children. That woman said that to me in front of my face, in front of a man, and said taking care of a man is not any more taxing than taking care of your dog or a child. She literally relegated a man to the position of a pet or a child. Okay? That's what she did. So they literally think of you as very much underneath them. This is why the relationship type is reverential. She requires you to worship the ground she walks on. She requires this man to sniff up after her and grovel up after her. Meanwhile, she does not love, does not like, does not value, does not respect, does not honor this man at all. There is nothing. She do not even like the sight of this man. She's only with him to receive whatever kind of benefits that she believes she can get out of him. This is all. This all it is. He's in-house Johnson. All right. She got full autonomy and freedom in this relationship. She is not constrained by him at all. She is not looking to see if any of his needs are getting met. And as a matter of fact, he had better not complain about his needs not getting met. This is the relationship that one of these females will kill that man if she think he's talking to another woman. This is that relationship where she feels so entitled to everything that he is and everything that he has that if she even think he's talking to another female, she will go so far as to destroy property, and she will go so far as to harm or injure or kill this man. Meanwhile, this man is doing everything that he thinks that he needs to be doing to please her by doing everything that she wants him to do. Not realizing that this type of female in this relationship is unsatisfactory. She's unpleasable. This is an unpleasable woman. There will be nothing that he can do. No amount of giving, no amount of caring, no amount of love, no amount of money, no amount of trips, no amount of gifts. There's no amount of anything that he gonna be able to do to make her satisfied, because she's not satisfiable. She's with him because more than likely the woman that is in this relationship is a narcissist. And he feeds her ego and her narcissism. This is what she really getting out of this relationship. Especially when she actually is the one that's providing financially and stuff like that. Like she got more money, a better job or something like that. She not with him for money that he can give. I mean, yeah, he better give it as far as she's concerned. But she's a narcissist. And that's the biggest issue. She's in this type of relationship, if it is a marriage, just for, you know, appearances, just to say she's married. It's like a cover. So if we want to think of these relationships in a certain way, if you want to think of leadership, think of Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. Now, they just got married recently, so, you know, we don't know how their marriage is really set up. But she came out and said she was submitting. So they are likely in a leadership type relationship, because she's already said that she's going to do submission. And that's the only one out of the 4 that actually includes submission. So think Jeannie Mai Jeezy when you think of leadership. When you think of partnership, think Will Smith and Jada. Now, people will try to say that they're in a followership, but he don't follow Jada, but they are doing their own thing separately. They are doing their own thing separately. Jada do what she do and Will do what he do. And they together, as long as it's mutually beneficial in some kind of way. It might be financial, might be business, you know, this, that, and the third. And, you know, there's fake freedom. Everything is conditional. And it's a gynocratic relationship. Okay. Followership. I don't know if y'all know. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Y'all know Selena Johnson, right? The one that be over there Cocktails with Ratchets over there on Fox Soul. And I actually like Selena's music. Like, I like her singing, but listening to her talk, that's a whole nother story. But y'all familiar with Selena Johnson, right? Made that song long time ago. I am your woman. I am your woman. See, that was a nice song, but I don't think... I'm done with Father's Time too. I'm so done. Okay. That her relationship is a followership. If you have even ever seen pictures, okay, I'm gonna prove to you it's a followership. We know who Selena Johnson is. What's her husband name? I double dog dare somebody, and don't Google it. What's her husband name? Don't Google it now. I double dog dare somebody to name that man. That's how you know. That is how you know that this is a followership. I'm gonna prove to you another one. What's old girl Lonnie Love? Her marriage is a followership. She run that man from the rooter to the tutor, and you can't tell me she don't. Malika said Selena Johnson's husband is his name. Oh my goodness. That is his name. Cause we don't know that man's name. If you ever seen even any pictures of him, he stand there and he looks at her you know, to make sure can he smile in the photo, or, you know, is he supposed to look straight ahead at the photo, or, you know, should he look happy today, or, you know, should he look serious today? You know, he looks to her for all of the directions. Lonnie Love and her husband, that is a followership. He take all his cues from her. He better not step out of line. She got a cattle prod for him. The nerve. Right, Malika. It's that white dude. Because don't nobody know his name neither. That's how you know these followerships. The men don't. That's another thing that I want to point out in these followerships, which is why it's the inverse of the leadership and why this is a toxic type of relationship. Because in a leadership, even though the woman is in a submissive position and in a following position, she is not wiped out of the relationship where she doesn't have any identity of her own. She still maintains her identity. She's who she is. She's just with him and she's following. But in a followership where the woman is in a leadership position, the men no longer have identity. They no longer have identity, no longer has any masculinity or manhood that she is looking at all. In a leadership relationship type, the man is not looking for the woman to not have her femininity. He wants her to have that. He wants her to have her femininity and her womanhood because he's looking to that as part of what she provides as a support system for him. In a followership, this is the exact opposite. He is not to have any identity that she does not approve. He is only who she says he can be. She's only who, excuse me, he's only who she says he can be. He is not a man of his own. He can't be anything, have anything, do anything that she does not approve. This is a completely toxic relationship and one of the most dangerous of the four because it is the inverse of a righteous system. It's the direct inverse of that system of the leadership. This is a completely acceptable form of relationship according to the gynocracy. Even if she didn't marry him, she with him. So it's still a relationship and it's still a followership. Okay? This is a completely acceptable form of relationship in the gynocracy and it is toxic. If you notice something, as we go in this chart, these relationships get worse and worse. Have y'all noticed that? These relationship types get worse and worse. But we're going to keep going. %. So on this side of the chart with two destructive relationship types, that's 70% of the women right there. That is 70% of the women right there. That is an astronomical number. It's a sad, sobering number when you think about it. Which actually accounts for the chart that we did for the Manosphere, where the blue pill women were 80%, which included purple pill women. Purple pill women can be found in this partnership mess. Some of them is in that. But it's still 70%. Opponentship. Where the man and the woman are opponents to one another. This is a transactional relationship type where the two do not support one another. There is consistent conflict, undermining, competition, disrespect, and a lack of cohesiveness. A transactional relationship where the two do not support one another. There is consistent conflict, undermining, competition, disrespect, and lack of cohesiveness. Think Dr. Dre and Nicole. That is an opponentship, if there ever was one. Because after that aneurysm, I don't think that divorce proceeded, but you can't tell me they a loving couple. This relationship type is combative and transactional in nature. There is no leader. There is no follower. Constant arguing, constant conflict, constant drama, constant. It's never ending. This is one of the most unpleasant relationship types on the board. Neither of the two parties are enjoying any of this. This is strictly transactional. There is no love, care, concern, nothing. In point of fact, there may be hatred and disdain, resentment, and a general dislike. Dr. Michelle, okay, I got to read this statement out loud. Dr. Michelle said, I was sharing this with someone and he said, I'm going to try to read it with a straight face. A helpmeet is supposed to help wherever it's needed. So if he can't lead and she can, then she should help to lead and he will follow. See, this is the type of nonsense that comes out of feminism. This is the type of nonsense that the gynocracy gives birth to. I'm ignoring everything you write for the next 10 seconds. Because no, you did say Mr. Followership. It's nonsense. Whoever that was that you was talking to, Dr. Michelle Pothang, bless his heart. Pothang. He need to wake up and smell the coffee. Mr. Velcro nuts. Like a Mr. Potato Head. You know, that's how it is with him. You know how you just pop on Mr. Potato Head, his eyes, his nose, his mouth, you know. So we have defined the opponentship basically as a toxic relationship. This is a toxic relationship. You might have one with two narcissists have encountered one another. Because this is going to have some mutual abuse going on. Emotional abuse, verbal, mental, might even be some physical. This is also a highly independent relationship. Neither one of them two people, they don't even like each other. So you know they're not working together on any type of basis of emotional connection or any of that. They're not doing none of that in this opponentship. They're not doing any of it. None of that. This is an strictly transactional relationship. Father Sam said the Jonathans. I don't know, is the Jonathans in the opponentship? I thought they might have been in the Followership. They in the opponentship? Okay, we'll say they in the opponentship then. This is completely transactional. There is no emotional, no healthy emotional connection. there is no positive emotional connection. In point of fact, I would go so far as to say that this is the type of relationship where the two people might be trauma bonding. These two might be trauma bonding. Dysfunction meet dysfunction, and they be dysfunctional together. As a matter of fact, I've seen some people in relationships just like this. They don't like each other. Every day it's a fight or it's a potential fight. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. You know, any type of thing can set it off. It's like a powder keg. Any spark can set this off, and it can go left very quickly for the smallest of reasons. These two people engage in one-upmanship, all kinds of competing with one another, not in a good way, in a negative way. You know, this one cheat, then the other one cheat, the revenge cheat, then that kind of craziness. I'll call and get you fired from your job. You know, I'll call the police on you. I call my brother on you. I get you set up. And these is two people supposed to be in some type of relationship together. This is one of the most toxic forms of relationship. Both parties are always getting back at one another. There is no peace here. There is no peace here. Fake freedom because there is no peace here. They each are living their lives separately. Separate but together. And together in toxicity and negativity. This is the crux of the opponentship. It really is a situation where the two people see each other as enemies. This is when a woman sees her man, when a black woman sees a black man as her enemy. Somebody that should never be trusted. Somebody that should never be, no good turn should be done to this person. Anything can happen to this person, and you don't really care about the well-being of this person. You just getting what you can get for the time period that you can get it, and when that's done, it's a wrap. And you will continue to use this person however many times they let you do it. These are the relationships that break up, come back, break up, come back. And you try to figure out why you even keep dealing with this man if he's so bad. Because she's just as bad as he is, and they getting this dysfunctional stuff off on each other. This is another relationship type that the gynocracy enjoys, and really trying to put us as black women in a situation where the most of us will be opponents to our men. Because anytime you constantly have the narratives going on about how bad black men are and how much of predatory they are, and they doing this and they doing that, preying on the women in the communities and things like that, you move further towards opponentships. People getting together just to get a couple of things out of each other, but they dislike each other. They may even hate each other. They frenemies. 1 minute they cool, but at any time they could cut each other's throat and go to sleep and have a good night's sleep. Okay? This stands at 25%. A quarter of the women. Thank you, Joris. This is the toxicity of laboring under feminism and feminist programming, because they just move us ladies from bad to worse. That's all that they do, is move us from bad to worse. We're not getting better. We are getting worse. That's all that we doing. This is why laboring under feminism, this has not helped us. It has moved us away from a relationship type that works to relationships that fail over and over and over, and that perpetuate the cycles of bitterness, loneliness, that independence again, putting us in situations where our relationships are toxic, which weigh on our mental health. It become a mental health issue. We develop abandonment issues, issues with abuse, issues with narcissism, issues with borderline personality disorder, issues with all types of things. It becomes a mental health issue for Black women. They try to put us in the crazy house. Tell us be independent, be independent, be independent, until you get older and you're alone. You just lonely. You just die by yourself. Even I have had these fears that I'm going to be an old woman, not able to work no more, and ain't nobody going to know about it. And I'm going to be somewhere struggling trying to eat until it's just be over one day. And who's going to know? That is a real fear for women when we get older, being by ourselves like that. It's all fun and games when you are young, supposedly. It's not funny in your 40s. Nothing funny about it. Nothing wonderful about it. You the one got to figure it out. When my late husband passed away, that was the immediate thing I confronted. The immediate thing I confronted was my support system and my cover is gone. I can't even talk to him about it no more. I can't even get it off my chest no more. He gone. And now I got to figure it out by myself. And in this society, you a grown woman. Ain't nobody had no compassion about that because women have said they can do it by themselves. But I wasn't one of them women. The only thing fortunate about living in this society that we live in is that women do work and stuff like that. I was able to get some type of, I was already kind of working, but you know what I'm saying? My immediate thing was they won't rent this month. My husband just died. That income he was having, that ain't here no more as of right now. So I immediately was like, okay, I make this much every 2 weeks. These are all the expenses. These is all. In the midst of my grief, I gotta think about that. This is the damage of living in this society where they take your family away. And it's not that my family didn't care. We just didn't have the structure, where come on back to the house for a minute so you can regroup. You can live with us for a minute till you regroup. Work, stack your money. You got to worry about rent and bills and all of that kind of stuff right now. And in 6 months or whatever, you can kind of be getting yourself back together, get your mind right. Breaking up the family made us poorer than what we were by making us single moms and these single women-led households that's not pulling in no money. Because unless we did go and get a degree or do something to make a lot of money, we're not making a lot of money as women. We can't even really do a lot of the jobs that the men can do in terms of labor jobs and vocations and stuff like that. Go be a plumber, go be an electrician, go be a construction worker that, you don't need no master's degree to do that. But you still make a good money with it. Those high labor intensive jobs, women can't really do them. So in order for us to be in a position to truly make money and not be living paycheck to paycheck, we actually do have to go and get an education and get a higher, degree and stuff like that and get a better career. But at my age, I'm not going back to school for that. I got bills to pay. I can't pay no university. For what? See what I'm saying? It's not funny. We're being led further and further down the rabbit hole of destruction. The I don't need a man mantra is a false promise. It is false. It is a lie. Ladies, especially the young ladies, I need you to hear this because I'm going to start wrapping this up. I don't need a man is a lie that makes you die alone. I'm only going to be a partner. Lie. These is lies. Look at your mother. Look at your aunts. Look at the older women in your life that don't got no man. They my age or older. They do everything by themselves. I had one lady in my Uber today, nice older lady, but she battling cancer by herself. Now, she mentioned the husband, but it seemed like that was past tense. So I don't know if he passed away or what. But currently, this day, she was almost 70 years old, and she lived alone, and she was battling cancer. I was taking her to her appointment. It's funny until it's not. All right. So with that being said, I am going to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody before I get out of here. Ooh, y'all did such good on the likes. Thank you so much. Let's see. I know I missed some super chats and stuff. I'm sorry. I saw Joris. I saw a couple people. I'm sorry if you gave and I missed you because I wasn't looking at the screen the whole time. Suaved. And then I saw Jeremy earlier. The logician. Okay, I don't think I missed too many people. But if I did miss you, I do apologize for that. Shango hit it again with the Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody coming through. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have no idea how much I really appreciate you all supporting me. Supporting this very important work that we are doing. We really trying to get these numbers turned around. I may or may not see it in my lifetime, but I'm definitely helping to lay the groundwork for it to happen in the future. Ladies, we have to do better. We must. It is imperative. All right. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and sign off and wrap this up. Thanks once again to everyone. I want everyone to sound off in the comments. I know some people got something to say. So what do you think? Do you think the numbers are correct? The percentages, because those percentages were not pulled out of the sky at all. But do you agree with them? If you had your thoughts, where would the percentages actually be? I'm curious. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, I'm tripping. The barn burner was sponsored by who? A-Game, a male herbal solution. So what I need everybody to do on your way out is go into the description box and hit the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com, and you get a 10% discount using the code Kendra10 at checkout. So that's KENDRA, the number 10 at checkout. All right. So the guys, you should already know what's up. Ask around, ask Ronan, ask Bishop. Okay. Ask Sheep, ask around. The guys in the Manosphere, they know. Ladies, they know. Your man should know. So pick this up for him as well. All right. And Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game. At agameherbal.com, you can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.